Man, I hate it when I'm not prepared. I hate it when I forget to do something that it all gets a bit weird. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Welcome to 90K as well. I mean, we're not quite there now, but, you know, maybe Bitcoin continues to push higher. That'd be great news, wouldn't it? But welcome back, everybody. As always, I appreciate you showing up. Don't forget, it is double stream day. I feel like this camera's not right as well. Hold on a minute. I feel like it's not right, YouTube. Whoa. Oh! Is that better? Not better? Is that a bit better? Feels a bit better. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I feel like it was just a bit off. It should be like that. I feel like it should be like that. Anyway, okay, fine. Fine. We will survive. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Man, I feel like nothing's sell price. What is going on? What is going on? Rocking a nice green hoodie though. Check this out. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. And hope you're all enjoying the day. You know, the market's looking pretty interesting. We'll take a look at the charts. We'll obviously get into, you know, what's kind of going on. Is this what we all hope, which is a massive rally in the market? Is it just a dead cat bounce? Maybe. And, you know, all the things that we'll sort of discuss. There also has been, I don't know if you've seen this, by the way, a flippening with, on a certain, let's say a certain banking group suddenly have gone, oh, like, you know, it's completely flipped 180. Like, Jesus Christ. And we'll talk about that. And anything else you guys want to talk about? As always, though, we'll get into everything and everything. So do me a favor, hit the like button to a brand new all-time high. Like I said, don't forget, it is the double stream this evening. So I have this stream, and then obviously then we'll just kind of go into the next stream. We'll get Vern to join us, hopefully, as long as Vern's about. And then we'll sort of continue on. So, yeah, pretty interesting day, though, all in all in the markets. And certainly one that maybe we were waiting for, maybe not. You'd always rather take it going up than going down, I think. Unless you're short the market, then you obviously want it to go down. But as it stands right now, then we will, you know, we'll kind of get into it. And we are probably going to need a little bit of tinfoil hatness to this evening. So we'll sort of see where that all filters and washes through. But worth noting, in my opinion, and worth kind of keeping a very much strong eye on what is going on. So with that being said, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time if you haven't already. Also tap the screen, lock in some likes if you're on TikTok as well. And let's talk about crypto on the 2-Minute Crypto channel. I mean, it's surprise, surprise. Why is XRP performing badly? Who said that? Have I said that? XRP is performing. Really? Is it? It's 223. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, on the grand scheme of things today, it's not like super making it happen, but still better than going to zero. I think something could be coming for Casper. Ooh, Rob. Interesting. I don't know what the price of Casper is right now. I took it off the chart, but yeah, Monad's looking pretty bullish though. That is great news, isn't it? So that ecosystem's starting to build out. MicroStrategy, we talked about this the other day, is actually rallying a little bit. So anyway, here it is on the Bitcoin chart. This is looking at longer time frame on the daily candles. We were discussing this the other day. The wick down to 80,600. And we were talking about this, were we? 89,330. Are we going to see a close above this range? Could signal some upside momentum. By the way, we're not in a world just yet where we're going to be like, oh no, the fucking bull market's back, bro. What are you talking about? So yeah, albeit we have had some positive, you know, let's say we've had some, oh my God, what am I doing here? We've had certainly a more positive outlook on life. We're still not super out there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, we've had a nice move. Yes, we're up about 2.9%. This is some of the key levels that we're looking at. So this break above 89,537. That's what I'm looking at as a close, which will be interesting. Why? You can see here, this became the resistance line that we got rejected on 2 days ago, and then we obviously wrote back up. We sort of talked a little bit about the fact that this could do, that we could go wrong. Have you cut your beard wrong? I don't think so. Don't think so. Have I set this up, by the way? Or have you already? Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Maybe. It was early mornings when I did it yesterday. But anyway. So, again, this is kind of what I'm looking for. 89,537. This would indicate a more bullish move. You can see the wick down on the 382 Fibonacci, 80,799. That seems to hold up pretty well. And then as you sort of walk through some... Oops, I did not mean to do that. As you walk through some of these price predictions, these are all starting to play out pretty interestingly on certain key levels, 618, 98,275. So I'm looking for a close above 89,537. To me, that would still indicate we've got bullish momentum. I don't know if I'm going to subscribe to the bull run's back, get ready, new all-time highs are loading, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, we may get an opportunity for that to come. It doesn't feel like it's right now, FYI, just my opinion, but it is worth sort of noting that maybe, just maybe, this starts to come back up to the upside. RSI ticking up as well, which again is a good sign. RSI coming back up. 50-week, 200-week, still very much diverged here. So again, this gap is pretty strong, indicating that we are still very much in a bearish feel. If we were then to extend that so far, and if you remember, we were talking about this yesterday, which was where do we essentially feel like the weekly candles are going to move? Well, excuse me. Well, you can see here that actually when we wick down, this is the weekly from the bottom of the bear market to kind of where we sit right now. We essentially have bounced off that 84,107 line on the weekly candles. So again, you can see here where it became resistance and support, followed by then the move to the new all-time highs. Equally, when we lost the support, we came down lower. Oops. We came down lower on this line as well. So a couple of really important sort of indicators going on right now. The important bit, the bounce off this 84,107, actually feeling relatively good. Be mindful though. Be very mindful. Even on the weekly look, this is a perfect example of a dead cat bounce. You know, we come down, we hit major spot, we have a rally back up, and then we continue our journey down. So this is going to be important to think about. So far, though, you know, the grand scheme of things, actually at that level, you're like, okay, I can see that. You know, that's not the worst kind of dead cat bounce I've ever seen in my entire life, but it is obviously worth just noting where we are specifically. Now, when you look at that broader wise, look at this bounce on Ethereum, perfectly from this lower range. We're talking about critical level. Now, ETH could break this. Obviously on the weekly, look at it a little bit nearer on the daily candle. Again, really, really important to see what happens. Could we get a bit of an altcoin drag, ETH breaking this? And on a number of altcoins, by the way, on a number of altcoins, we actually do have, certainly from a technical standpoint, some pretty interesting decisions that we've sort of got to make on the back of it. So for ETH specifically, we are seeing this retest this upper range after bouncing off this bottom range we've got. Solana doing something similar. Again, looking to retest here on the 20-day exponential moving average and this resistance line that once again, you can see here how many times we come up and retest this. Likewise, this is historically where we last saw a move to new all-time highs. So the resistance line breakthrough, retest, and then moved back to the upside. So yes, good news we're seeing a little bit here when it comes to a lot of major altcoins. We will see XRP again. You can see there, look, holding on to the 20-day exponential moving average. It looks very bullish off the bounce of this bottom. But again, we are still macro in a downtrend historically. But again, we talked about this potentially being a bit of a bull trap on, a bear trap on XRP. But you can see how that's got playing out. We'll touch a little bit more on XRP as we walk through tonight's live stream. BNB looking pretty good. Air up there. You got a number of altcoins having a decent run. Jasmine up 2%. AVAX finally breaking again to the upside. Good news. $14.67 is a pretty move. Asta 109. You know, I'm all for Asta, you know, doing this. And then that's good news. So obviously I feel a little bit better about that. Will There Be Financial did finally break 16 that we've been looking at now for ages. And structurally, you know, outside of obviously, you know, we know exactly this Friday, the 10th of October, you know, this is kind of starting to feel a little bit more optimistic. And I think this is kind of good news, albeit very tentatively, but it is still an uptrend when it comes into Will There Be Financial. And you see what's positive here. You got a lot of indicators that are now starting to print to the upside. So keep an eye on Will There Be Financial. May start to move furthermore to the upside, which I think will be good news. And a couple of other coins out here. Nothing going super crazy. Memes, Brett having a decent run. Will Whiff doing decent. Pepe numbers are all right. Then when you get into the broader market, and I think this is where it gets a little bit interesting. If you remember, we touched on the fact we thought the Nikkei was probably going to be okay last night. Look at some of these. Weirdly, and this is sort of weirdly, the FTSE rebounding today with the British pound after that Rachel Reeves budget announcement. I mean, we could have got way worse. It's still effing terrible, by the way, but we still could have got way, way worse. But anyway, so the actual FTSE bouncing back, which is pretty interesting. The S&P continues to rally, as does the NASDAQ. But what's important to reference here, look at this. Coinbase shares up nearly 4.5%. MicroStrategy shares up nearly 2%, with the similar split when it comes to the 2 and 10-year treasury. So, for example, here's the 1 month, here is the 3 months, and then obviously we have the 2-year treasury at 0.64 and the 10-year down about 0.15. So this is good. We want to continue to see the 10-year treasury come down. And then a few other little coins here at the bottom. Monad, obviously, we talked about right at the very start, kind of holding up pretty well. When you look at Bitcoin futures, FYI, everyone's going long. Like, people think, hey, do you know what? Bitcoin futures might turn out to be pretty bullish. We might actually see some kind of longer moves, and we might actually see a little bit more momentum back to the upside. So, yeah, people are kind of like, hey, maybe, just maybe, we have a sentiment of optimism within the market. I don't necessarily believe it's like, oh, bull runs back, like, Jesus Christ, 100x leverage long, you like everything. What's going on, Vern? I definitely don't think it is. But anyway, with that, by the way, as David Pierce says, Thanksgiving miracle. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American viewers out there. SHX is apparently on a poll now, Tim. Holy crap. JFI is only asking a friend, said ETFs are for people that don't know what they're doing. Maybe. $800 million gone with XRP ETFs in the last week, apparently on a $2 billion available. So supply shock incoming, according to Jake Claver. Look, I don't know, Jake, and I don't want to start, any beef, as we know what happens generally when TikTok hears me, say certain names of people. But I feel like sometimes, don't hear me on this, but sometimes they are wild with zero, and I mean zero, to substantiate them. Zero to substantiate the claim at the back of it. So we can look exactly what's gone into the XRP ETFs. We can literally track that number. That is fine. From an 800 million, from a 2 billion available, that's not true. Circulating supply is 60 billion. And all you have to do is look at what's on exchanges, which sort of gives you an idea as to kind of where they look. So I think I've said this a number of times before, by the way. Just be mindful when you listen to people that may be talking shit. That's my opinion. Right, anyway. Monday, December 1st, QTNs, fingers crossed. We are close. Yeah, I agree. QT is going to be a pretty big deal. We will come back and we'll touch on XRP ETFs, but there you go. FYI, 42 million. Good news, actually. Only 8 million in a 24-hour period reduction. So we've gone 50%, and then 8 million is probably like another maybe 17% reduction. So that's actually not bad. We'll sort of touch on that a little bit more as we walk through. So it looks like Bitcoin's potentially going to break back above 90K, which is great, by the way. And, we're definitely hoping for a little bit more of a momentum push. Certainly when we get to the price of BTC, and hopefully, just hopefully, this starts to play out way more favorably than we have seen. And keep an eye on it. We're looking for 90,253. That is, again, what we're looking for as a potential close on the current price of BTC. So good. Do me a favor, by the way, if you haven't already, share the stream out. There's a little button down here, TikTok. Press this button, share us out, let people know we're live. Likewise, give us a quick thumbs up and a tap on the old screen here on YouTube as well. So I appreciate it. So like I say, we've done most of the altcoins. I guess the question then is, what's going on? Why are we seeing the market rally? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, markets went, we're full send. And I was kind of watching it and I was like, holy crap, like, here we go. Thank you so much for the roses. Dagamansura. Thank you so much, man. Only 29 days until Christmas. Don't say that. Jesus Christ. That's what it is. Bro, come on. XRP ETFs, will take a couple of years to wipe out supply, in my opinion. Well, we talked about it the other night, I think. You could see, depending on how many comes online, but you could see the entire circulating supply of XRP wiped out in like 200 days, depending on volume, depending on number of ETFs, blah, 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 blah. I think a lot of people thought we would see that with Bitcoin. We didn't fully see it, but interesting. Hey, to bit as well. What's going on, Sonny Raj? But yeah, I'm all good, man. But Fed pivots historically coincide with a huge crash. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot to work through, walk through, talk about, and decide when it comes to the Fed. Lots of stuff still being kind of dialed through, and lots of economic policy that is being worked through. The only thing I would say specifically on the Fed, 84.7. That's another 2.2% up in the last 24 hours. This is getting more and more bullish. And we'll talk about the jobs data that came in today, which could again support a narrative that we're going to see rate cuts. At this rate, I genuinely think we'll get to 99. I absolutely expect the third column to start to build up here, which could be a potential 50 basis points cut. Corporate 2-bit XRP supply will go on and on forever. Yeah, the whole... No. You got to... I agreed. Similar to Bitcoin, really, isn't it? No one really knows, but you would assume that in treasury companies that they would remove supply. I mean, I'm not saying indefinitely. Not saying it's not like burning it, isn't it? But, we could definitely see reduction in supply. Definitely. And again, it depends where you think it's going to go. But ask yourself why there is such a demand at treasury company level. Again, I'm not saying that the entire supply is going to leave, but as more and more, it's a little bit like staking in it. As more and more gets locked up, then scarcity can become a thing. The fact is there's still like 40 billion to unlock out of the escrow. But yeah. Media says a couple of years to gobble up those XRP and you're crazy. It's been eaten up quicker than my chocolate cake with extra cream. Fair play. Mr. Black, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Fairground, what's up, bro? Welcome in. So, Let's talk a little bit about what has been going on then. Obviously, we discussed charts. What are some of the key things that I guess is driving it? And we wouldn't be doing ourselves any favors if we didn't just talk about what a few things we need to look at. So one notable thing today, BlackRock ETF bought Bitcoin. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? We actually saw an inflow of around 1,915 BTC, with Fidelity being the biggest buyer today with over 1,900, but BlackRock buying once again 953. So that's actually a pretty interesting statement from them. You know, we were definitely seeing more outflows than in. We've seen billions of dollars wiped off as BlackRock, you know, what's the word? I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of, but basically merciless. Oh my God, what is the word? Merciless. Is it merciless? What am I trying to say? It's like merciless, but oh my God, I can't even think. Anyway, basically BlackRock sold off an absolute ton of BTC, didn't care, just kept dumping BTC. But the reality is that now is sort of coming in. So you can see yesterday we had an inflow day, which is great, around 128 million, mitigating stuff from Monday. And then actually today, we just talked about it, we actually see net inflows. Specifically, when you look at BlackRock, 953, which again is important, without mercy. Yeah, it's merciless. Jesus Christ, Cracker Jack, thank you, man. Merciless. Still doesn't sound right, but anyway. Any update on the Ripple application to become a bank? No. Mercilessly. Shut up, all of you. What are we talking about here? Merculous. Bernie's out of clapping hands. I feel like that's just someone like clapping at me. Anyway, oh look, Jake's in the chat. What's going on, Jake? Welcome in. Jake Claver, everybody in the chat. Welcome in. Probably not really him. So yeah, again, good news, by the way. We haven't seen ETS actually buying for a while. So this is kind of okay. Still net flows around 464 million out. But yesterday, and fingers crossed, we start to see this maybe further play out positively. Now, what is worth noting though, with that, I mean, specifically the fact we actually see a flip on BTC, which is good news. We talk about XRP ETFs, 42.92 million, which again is, I guess is mercilessly, it still doesn't sound weird, but anyway, Stu, what's going on, buddy? It still kind of holds up reasonably well, which I think is, again, a more positive sign, but I was hoping it would be a bit more volume. You can see here Bitwise doing around 15 million, Franklin Templeton around 11 million. What's interesting is the sort of tail off. Look at this, Rex Osprey at 5 million, which is still decent. Grayscale's Trust 2.9. I imagine they are selling, which would be interesting to see whether that is true or not, as they historically do that with BTC, for example. And then XRPM, which is the Amplify XRP, is around 351k. So no one really cares about this one. But, you know, some of the bigger players. And again, we've got a number coming next week. So I think we get Fidelity and a couple of others. So yeah. Robertson's picked up Casper at 3.7 cents. And now it's at 5.8. It's pumped hard. PSP at 42% a week. Nice. Any ideas why? We'll see. You should read the names of the old Roman gladiators. That would be, I can imagine. 21 shares does go live next week. That is absolutely correct. Yeah, that is it. That is it. So, yeah, I can't believe people are still typing the mercilessly. I think that's right. Stop putting it in the chat, you massive choppers. What are you doing? Anyway, right, good news. Fingers crossed we'll start to see this. Hopefully, you know, hopefully the markets bounce a little bit and we can kind of start momentum back to the upside. Whether that'll happen or not, I guess is a bigger question. But, you know, look, hopefully we'll start to see it. And like I said, when you talk XRP ETFs, good news, all right? The more and more buying pressure for XRP, the better, in my opinion. I bought the bottom of Casper, dip 0.3035, pump it up to 10 cents. Man, I feel like I'm like missing out here. Maybe it's like a big thing on Casper that I've just totally not seen. Anyway, right. Worthwhile, a couple of other bits. Then we'll get into a little bit more bullish news. So we have this, look, S&P Global Ratings downgrading Tether's USDT due to Bitcoin and global and gold exposure. So there is definitely this kind of thing right now. I'm not saying Operation Choke Point 2.0 is back, but there is definitely this like anti-crypto feel, which is weird. Now, that may change with the potential new Fed chair. I don't know necessarily who agrees all this stuff, but, you know, the fact is that Tether, given its exposure to gold and given its exposure to Bitcoin, is being downgraded. I think Moody's did something the other day as well, but I don't think it's necessarily a big deal, but it is an interesting thing. You know, it is an interesting thing that you've got real kind of bearish sentiment within the Bitcoin markets right now, or specifically the crypto markets. And then it's like, oh yeah, well actually, if you've got exposure to crypto, we're going to say you're even worse. Like, holy crap. So I thought this was kind of interesting as this kind of plays through. But according to Kalshi, though, Bitcoin, will Bitcoin cross 100K again is skyrocketing, right? Which is kind of good news. So, you know, breaking a 50% chance that Bitcoin reclaims 100K. Now, it is worth noting here. It is worth noting that I'm just going to give you my view on a number of things. Now, you sort of sit in two camps, I think, right now. You are in camp one, which is, well, this is fine. We hit the bottom here at the 382 Fibonacci, and Bitcoin's now going to rip way higher to brand new all-time highs, and I'm so glad I'm locked in, and here we go. The other reason is this could be a macro dead cat bounce, which tells we come back to the previous line of resistance and support. Now, what was that line? Well, historically, it's the 618 Fibonacci at around 98,800. You can see it here, look. This is the breakthrough. The retest came in at this support level, and obviously this is where it is. So my strategy, it's just my opinion. If BTC rallies back up to anywhere around 98,000 to 100K, I will take some more stablecoin positions. I will take some more profits from this move, okay? I think that would be a sensible thing. Right now, if we were to break back above $98,822 on a weekly candle, not a daily candle, a weekly candle, that could signal a reversal coming in the market, which may tell us that there is optimism there. At that point, I would probably be in a world of saying, hey, let's see where this market goes. But I think the sensible thing to do at 98,000, it's going to take a mountain to break that line. That's just what I'm doing. I'm not saying you guys should do it. I'm not saying I'm telling you that's the right thing to do. I am only giving you my opinion. But we could definitely see more momentum, push back to the upside, give a little bit more euphoric feeling to the market, which could tip this over 100%. But at the same time, it might not. So again, that's just my strategy right now. If we get back up to anywhere around $98,000, I'm going to take some more profits. Specifically, I will probably take some off my Ethereum trade and my Solana position. Like, yeah, you know, Solana could way be back above $200 at that point. So again, just my opinion. You don't have to do what I'm doing. That's just my view. Okay. So, yeah, worth thinking about. So a couple of macro data points for us. Look at this: Bitcoin accumulation versus distribution by cohort. So by number of Bitcoin held. You can see here that the biggest accumulation right now is between 1,000 and 10,000 BTC. So again, you can kind of see how that is playing out with, again, more specifically, the bigger ranges. Again, Bitcoin accumulation is big. Like, people are buying Bitcoin. They're buying it in relatively large numbers as well. So again, worth noting as this kind of plays out. Historically, this has signaled a bigger move in the market. We just need a little bit more move. Euphoric feel under 100K wasn't even euphoric, 126 all-time high. That's true. That's true. But when you've got super bearish fear and greed sentiment that was at 9, I mean, that is about as bearish as I've ever seen. I think you'll see it rapidly increase. I thought I had the fear and greed index number here, but maybe I don't. No, maybe I don't, unfortunately. I thought I did. But yeah, maybe we sort of see that play out a little bit more favorably, brings a little bit more optimism back to the market, and therefore, you know, could signal opportunity. My view is, what I don't want to do is see a rally back to 100K and be like, yes, here we go, bull market, baby. And then all of a sudden, before we know it, we're back down to 80K. And you're like, ah. Because if we reject at 98K, I think that's it. That's just my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Thoughts on Monad? I think I'd probably speak for most people, which is probably should have gone way bigger than I did. I mean, I didn't even go in fairness. I am in some of the ecosystem plays on Monad, but doing very well. I would say great launch, very well managed by Coinbase. And yeah, it could do some pretty cool stuff. If you look at some of the technical stuff going on with Monad, contract size, as well as the DeFi ecosystem and what it can build, like, yeah, I like it. Like, I think it's doing pretty well. And seems to have done very well in terms of its initial launch. So yeah, good news. Thanks for the follows, everybody. I appreciate it. Extreme fear at 15 is that where we are right now. Many still won't be buying into this pump until 100K reclaimed. Well, that's true. That's true. And equally, you know, late shorts just got obliterated. You came to the market late right now and you're shorting the opportunity that you think's coming. You just got demolished. So, you know, again, 90,253 may start to play out as a little bit like, well, do you know what? Let's see. Let's fingers crossed we get it. It'd be nice to sort of close around that range. So worth thinking about. Okay. What's some of the macro stuff that we got then today? Why are we getting the market pump that we thought, or well, I mean, did we think the market was going to push today? I feel like the answer to that is no. But we were, at the same time, we were like, okay, well, let's, you know, keep an eye on what might come, rather than, you know, potentially what was going to come. And I think the markets were relatively flat most of the day And then sort of later on in the day, we got a bit of a boom. So what were some of the catalysts driven? Well, this was one of the big things. Initial jobless claims came in favorable, right? Came in favorable. We got slightly better job claims, i.e., I mean, could you argue that's less people that are claiming against not being employed? Maybe. I mean, it probably is, but you have a point. US jobless claims, though, rose 216, estimated 226, previous 222. So still a big number, but grand scheme of things was favorable to predictions, I think is where we get to. And then we obviously got a little bit more just on a couple of these, kind of key data points that we got in. So nothing super crazy that's coming in. Obviously, we got a little bit more on PPI yesterday. But you can see kind of where that all goes through. But we haven't got a lot of data that's coming in specifically, a few little bits and pieces. But that jobless claims number was, the big one again on the 4-week average number as well. So you can see there, look, jobless claims 216 versus 222 was actually relatively favorable, with 4-week average coming down by, by about 1,000 jobs. So, it's okay. It's okay. Chicago PMI came in a little bit less. Obviously, we want to get, I think Friday we get ISM data. So, sorry, next week we get ISM data, which obviously we'll be looking at. The Fed balance sheet, we'll talk about the Fed beige book in just a second. So, yeah, good news. Which is good. Will always be rejections on the rise up, only natural. What's important is what happens after rejection. Yeah, true. Very true, actually. Very true. Don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already, give us a little thumbs up. Would massively appreciate over 100 people in the stream right now. So again, we appreciate you. Likewise on TikTok, by the way, tap a little bit of the screen arena. Obviously, TikTok having to eat humble pie last night after once again, restricting the channel. But hey, it's fine. TikTok, it's not like it, it's not like it matters, is it? Like being categorized as a complete criminal. But yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. In other news then, so I thought this was almost hilarious. I mean, it's almost like literally slapping someone going, hey, bro, like, what the heck? JP Morgan now launching a Bitcoin-backed bond. Like, what? You literally yesterday called it a massive scam. Get out of here. It pays off big in the future if the price of Bitcoin rises. So, Jamie Dimon's almost like, well, we're going to launch this. We're going to prove to you Bitcoin's a scam by saying, like, here's a bond that's going to track the Bitcoin price. And if it goes up, then you're good. But we think it's going to go down. So why bother buying? Like, it's insane in fairness, right? It's insane in my opinion. But yeah. Quiet day tomorrow. Yeah, very quiet tomorrow, Pete, for sure. People also need to remember this is low volume week. Yeah, I agree. But I think what's important with obviously today is where sentiment has gone. And look, even the ETF volume, we see this in a little bit of buying, aren't we? Ashley Smith, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. JPM is 100% Ethereum. You imagine. But yeah, interesting certainly with him. Now, like we said, though, there are some things to be mindful of, some things to keep very close to, and I guess some ways that markets are playing out. Hewlett-Packard is cutting a further 6,000 jobs by 2028. This whole AI thing, we touched on it yesterday, the AI bubble, which is if the bubble bursts, we're in shit creek. If it doesn't, then we're fine. And we could see the stock market rally, the NASDAQ rally, the S&P rally, more money come in. Trillions of dollars have been spent on this, which is artificially pumping markets. Unemployment is going down. Jobs are going up as, Trump pushes the AI narrative. But, underneath that, there is still significant job losses, which I think is worth noting, specifically when it comes to how the markets perform. And I think it's worth just being very close to this. If we start to see more job cuts, then don't forget, this might be the stimulus for the Fed decision in December, which could, and I still think may end up being a double rate cut. But, so on one hand, you kind of want to see job cuts. You just want to see good job cuts. By the way, I'm not saying that like cutting jobs are great, by the way, but this will stimulate the Fed to cut rates. And I guess that's kind of where you want to get to. The bigger thing will be what happens when the money printers, if they do go on into the new year, which will be driven out of the new potential Fed chair, the front runner, which we should get before Christmas, which, I think, is it Kevin Hassett? I think his name is, will potentially see a bit more bullish news. Kevin Hassett, leading candidate to replace Powell as Fed chair. So, I mean, if it's him, like, get ready. Like, money printers are going to go, and him and Stephen Mirren will be like, cut by 2%, who cares? Cut by 2%. I mean, I was actually looking at UK inflation, obviously on the back of our budget announcement today by Rachel Reeves. And all the things we don't want to go up are going up, and all the things that we want to come down are going up, which is bad news. But hey, it is what it is. I guess we have to just kind of sit where we sit. But, you look at this, for example, 1.74 year-on-year change. So, yeah, we're down from the highs of 4.6, whatever it was. But yeah, still not great. Still not really great, if we're totally dead honest, as it kind of plays through into some of these categories that you can see is driving down. But look, that's for a different story altogether. Solana ETFs continue to be very strong, by the way, and actually the altcoin market may benefit from some of these ETFs. I think you might see some more. I could definitely see a little bit more in terms of maybe like a SUI ETF come out, but this Solana ETF driven, don't forget, by staking. Now, we know BlackRock have applied for an Ethereum staked ETF. This shows you the demand, by the way. We haven't yet, this is insane to think about, we haven't yet had a negative flow on the Solana ETFs yet. We've not seen an outflow day that outperforms inflows, which I thought was pretty interesting, by the way, So this may be a thing, but yeah, they pulled $531 million during the first week, boosted by a 7% staking yield and lower fees than Bitcoin ETFs. So, you know, could this be a bit of a narrative as to why Bitcoin ETFs are selling off potentially? But, you know, you get 7% staking yield on this. That's crazy. Like, I don't know where you can get it at like corporate levels, but I don't think you're getting that in many bank accounts. Equally, think about it. When you go over to, let's just say that what we were talking about, like treasury yields, like the best you're going to get is 4.6%. So if you like a stable-ish income, like Solana ETFs are the way forward. Like, bro, you're getting 7%. Justin, JP Morgan expects the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates in December. Come on, Jamie. We all know that. Nicole says, why is it very profitable to sell old crypto wallets through the... I don't even know what that is, by the way, but I feel like that's just some sort of scam thing. I think what we need to do is put that word in. So if that word comes in, Tim, we just block it. Just time them out. I think it's a scam thing, if I'm dead honest. Yeah, Tomato Pete knows what's up. Just remove them. Mods, get rid of them. We don't need them in here. Liquidity is coming back. You're absolutely right, What Dog. I agree with you, bro. It's coming back, and I think it's going to come back big, which will be good. So, yeah, thanks for all the follows, man. Appreciate it. Don't forget, keep tapping that screen. Keep sharing us out, by the way. Little button here, look, little arrow. Click on that. Share us out. Be like, yo, I just found this cool guy in a green hoodie. He's talking about cryptocurrency. Get your ass in here. It's brilliant. Exactly, Tomato Pete, for sure. 2bit says, big money would rather earn 4% than risk it, though, staking crypto. That's true. But I think that's where don't forget, ETFs are government-backed products. Therefore, they have, I don't know the exact insurance they have in, but they are protected, aren't they? Which means that at that level, that's why I'm saying the Solana ETFs may end up being pretty good. So they're protected by the FSCS, which is the Financial Service Compensation Scheme. There you go. And they cover things like Bitcoin, bonds, certificates, what else? Futures, fixed installment, securities, Ethereum, crypto assets, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, which is important, I guess. Endowments, EOSs, ETFs, etc., etc., etc. So I think, although, yes, you're right, at the minute people are... What's going on, Shane? People are like, why would I put my billions of dollars into Solana? I think eventually that may become a thing where people are actually like, well, you know what? Why not? Why not go and get 7%? That's a great idea. Like, I'm bullish on 7% with Solana ETFs as opposed to, 4% or whatever it is. I mean, they'd have to go into treasury yields. I don't know of anything else that's bigger. Do you guys? Man, Bitcoin 90,200. Let's go, baby. 253. Bump it up. Let's go. It's why massive money won't risk in crypto in general. The crypto market liquidity is two things. Yeah. And obviously regulation. We want to get that sort of dialed in. Do you expect an S&P to keep moving into 2026? If the AI bubble, we talked about this yesterday. If the AI bubble continues like it is doing, then yes, you will continue to see the stock market rally. Something like, I can't remember the exact number. It's like 47% of the entire stock market positive is built up off the Mag 7 right now. So yeah, worth thinking about. But yeah, as long as AI keeps going and billions of dollars keeps getting dumped into AI, this whole like Google chip thing's going to get pretty interesting now. So yeah, worth thinking about. Yeah. But anyway, Solana ETF's looking pretty good. Now, analyst firm releasing hot report on the reason behind Bitcoin's recent surge. Here we go. Give it to me. Recent recovery in risk assets, decline in volatility created room for investors to push prices higher, while the rise is limited. It sparked renewed talk of higher levels in the market. So kind of similar to what Holmes was saying, really. Lower volume, less demand means that price can be manipulated whichever way you want it to do. Obviously, there is the expectation strengthening from the Fed may resume interest rate cuts. We know QT officially finishes, by the way, Monday. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? And again, here, look, liquidity is much lower right now, which means it takes a lot fewer transactions to move the price. Holmes said pretty much exactly that right at the very start. So return to the sentiment is also evident in derivatives markets. Again, I urge you to understand derivatives markets. They are friggin' wild. Tubit, hope you're doing all right, mate. I thought I would have seen the 10th of October on the 10th of December. Fed and data is on the 10th. Questions. Yeah. Everything's on the 10th, bro. So yeah, it could be pretty wild. Could be pretty wild. Don't forget, by the way, if you are watching here on YouTube, give us a quick thumbs up. If you haven't already joined our free Discord, link is in the description. Head on over there. Join over 300 people, again, in our very friendly, community-centric and community-supportive Discord. Get involved with that. Likewise, if you're on TikTok, by the way, click on my profile. You can see that is in there as well. Head on over, jump in the Discord. Would massively appreciate it as well. So worth noting, by the way, I highly recommend getting involved in there. Now, Fed Beige Book. So not only do we have Rachel Reeves's budget today, which I'm not going to go through, by the way, really. Oh, maybe I should do that. That's a great idea. I mean, the Discord link is here. Look, it's just come up there. But maybe I definitely need to do that and have that as like a little thing. People type Discord in the chat and it comes up. I'm looking at banana peel pattern, looking to squeeze on ETH, posted in the general Discord too. But if you guys ain't there, jump in. See? Just like Midster, get in there, Midster. What's going on? A pump into QT ending was always likely as the market makers are forward thinking and front run these events. If sentiment has been better, we've seen much more aggressive pump this week, in my opinion. True. Wealth Ranger says dumping tomorrow. Send it to zero. Yeah, I mean, we said this, didn't we? Which, you know, if you remember, we talked on Monday and said the markets may rally throughout the week. We could definitely see the market push higher, bring renewed sentiment. People go, hey, the bull run's back. Like, this is going to be great. QT's ending. Fed's going to cut rates. Stimulus are coming, 2Gs into everyone's pot. Like, oh my God, yeah, this is it. Let's go, baby. Which then may, you know, do exactly the same. Which is why I'm saying, look, if we rally back 98K, 100K, for me personally, I'll take a little bit more off the table. Not all of my portfolio, because I still think, you know, there is that element that 2026 may end up being, you know, pretty epic. If you didn't catch my update for Bitcoin and the economy earlier on, remember 11:30 Bitcoin macro data updates. About 4:30, we get an XRP or altcoin video. Go and check both of those out. They came out today. Definitely recommend it. Set your alarm clocks. And yeah, welcome everyone who's jumping into the Discord, by the way. Welcome in. Sellers buy back in, then panic sell again. Classic retail BS. Yeah, exactly, Holmes. Exactly. So, what do we get in the Fed Beige Book? Now, the Fed Beige Book isn't really, we've touched on this before, I think. It's not really anything super crazy. It's more of a kind of very generic outlook as to what is going on in the market and what it essentially is. So doesn't go too much into it, but it's mainly regarding kind of job data and then, you know, probably more aligned to the labor market and what's going on with that really and how that plays out. So you've got consumer sentiment or consumer spending. You've got a little bit more around labor market. All right. So the announcement obviously came in today. So what did we get? And this, again, is kind of a reason why we got a little bit of a rally in the market, but still, what do we get? So we approach December interest rate decision. Members' position has become clearer. The likelihood of a rate cut has increased significantly, exceeding over the 80% probability, which we touched on at the start of the stream. Again, important to think about it. And like Holmes says, the end of quantitative tightening. Bullish. All right, good news. We also then obviously still see this. You'll see this narrative a lot, by the way. The AI bubble. We talked about it yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go and look at the live stream right at the very start. Probably like 10 minutes in, we started talking about it. When BlackRock owns the biggest share, it's a casino, and they likely owned it all along. I mean, possibly. Yahir says, Doge. Yeah, disbanded though now, isn't it? The Doge crew is no longer a thing, but yeah, Dogecoin pretty interesting. We explore what the Beige Book reveals about inflation. Okay, cool. So, regional economic activity. We don't need to go too much into it, but according to the 12 Federal Reserve districts, there's been little to significant change in the economic activity since the previous report, which is fair to say. Obviously, we'll get PMI. Monday in the ISM data, which is going to be interesting. But despite increased layoffs announcements, more regions reported higher freezing and natural attrition to measure the limit of staff numbers. So, essentially what you're sort of getting here is that companies aren't hiring, which we know that. We saw that we haven't got the most up-to-date ADP jobs report, but we saw that again on this report last time, which you can see here. This gives and this is October's number, so we haven't got November's yet, which obviously we'll wait, but you can see that small, medium size, not really doing much, offset though by obviously larger businesses that were employing people. Likewise, you see a little bit in the middle. So this kind of middle ground does align to the freezing and natural attrition, i.e. just general, movement of people in and out of businesses, basically. So looking ahead, contracts largely anticipate ongoing cost pressure increases. This is why I think the Fed will, again, cut rates. Plans for price hikes in the near term vary inflation. We will see that when we get PCE, which I think is important. What's going on, Al? Says, yes, big Al's in the house. Been busy. Initially bought the hell out of everything. DCA'd so many positions. I'm pretty much free in the market. Increase the X's by 5x, I reckon. Beautiful. Beautiful. Which is good. Logitech says, post some ETH source in the bang of 2-bit crypto. Check it out. Jump in there if you want some source. What are you thinking about this 2-bit crypto? Let me take a look at it in just a second. How do you think of BTC? Mark, I think today 90,400. You know what this channel does? We pump it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Someone sent me a message request on Discord. Who is this? Galactic. Is that any of you guys? Hi, there are a lot of scammers on your server. When I joined, I had like 7 DMs. Where do they come from though? They're not in my server, are they? Because I would see their names if they're in my server, surely. Exit all alts and have my BTC at 115, holding all the USDT and BTC now. Yeah, I mean, I'm like 50% in stablecoin right now. Still got a decent position, but yeah, I am out of certain. Oh my god, what am I doing here? I'm out of certain positions. I don't even know what to say to that person. But I mean, I verify all the people in here, and I definitely like they don't have the name 2-bits. I mean, how do I even know they're there? Because I check it all. Oh, there's one of them. Look, ban, gone. So yeah, I check it all. So that was one person. I'll have to check. I'm not like super up to speed with this, but outside of that, the rest of them have got normal names. So anyway, tip on your Discord. I'm a mod in some servers. You need some mods sitting and kicking out people, etc., because these scammers check who recently joined your server. But that means that so they're getting names. Oh, you mean they've got like a separate name and it goes in? Okay, I will take a look at that. Right. So what have you put here as an Ethereum trade? Leaving this here. Perhaps you missed it. Here we go. I mean, you'll have to explain a little bit, but what are you saying? Downward sloping trend again, or cup and handle pattern. Ooh, bullish. Hello from Norway. What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Today I bought 1 whole BTC and 10 ETH. Guys, the bull market is going to be mental. Generational wealth super cycle. I hope you didn't sell your choppers. What's going on now? Man, I went big. I went big, bro. Love it. Holding on to my XRP like a tick on a dog. Found your latest XRP video. Interesting too. But Liam, thanks, man. Yeah, the ETF thing on XRP, pretty interesting if you ask me. But yeah, looks bullish, by the way, Logitech. I'm down for it. I'm feeling it. I'm vibing it. I'm backing it. I'm checking it. It's good. What else came in the beige book? Not too much, really. Employment report affected mild decline. Nearly half of the regions indicating weakened labor demand. More of a note, firms noted AI replacing entry-level positions, which was always kind of going to happen. That should drive profits, though, and I think people are negating that a little bit. Or making existing employees efficient enough to curtail new highs. So they're a bit like, okay, we're not going to hire people because we're just going to make the people we have way more efficient in what they do. So I guess if you were to summarize the Fed beige book, what would you say? You would say that the labor market generally is seen as pretty muted. It's fair. Economic activity hasn't really changed. Prices are stable, albeit probably still relatively elevated. Consumer spending is mixed, with some areas seeing a pullback in discretionary spending, I think is fair to say. And we'll get a little bit more when we get a bit more data in the next couple of weeks. And companies are cautious due to economic uncertainty and, what else would you say? Due to economic uncertainty and advancing AI optimization, I think would be fair. I think that's kind of where you get to from the key takeaways from the previous, from the Fed book, yeah. How much ETH hits 2029, 2030? I mean, Jesus Christ, you'd be in the bull run by then. You'd be talking about the 2029 bull run, so ETH could be, I mean, who knows? Like, who knows? You'd have to go like super crazy here on the charts and be like, right, where's the potential trend-based Fibonacci? You'd have to go like a monthly candle, I think. Where would you put it as a trend-based Fibonacci here on ETH as a potential breakout? I guess if we went from the bottom of 2020... Does that align? Yeah, it kind of aligns, actually. That would kind of bring us to it. And then you sort of roll that forward as a potential, where would you get to? 2030? Let's say that January 2030. Based on where we get to, this is a complete guess, by the way, but you'd be talking, what, 2618, 14,300 maybe, if it continues the same pattern. If we said the bottom to the top would be 474% move. Let's say we do exactly the same here. 474. Let's say it's slightly more. Yeah, it takes you to about 15.5K. Maybe. I mean, you couldn't get any more speculative if you tried, and no one really has any ideas. And anyone that tells you they do is a liar, by the way. But join my free premium Discord. It's going to tell you exactly where Ethereum's going to be in 2025. All right, cool. Nice one. Yeah, seen a bit. Yo, going back to the beginning. Well, Andy, just chill out with us and just sit right now. Do me a favor, though. If you haven't already, give us a quick thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Likewise, TikTok, keep smashing that. Tap that screen. Not smash the screen. Tap the screen, baby. Definitely a quiet stream. I get people are like Thanksgiving it up right now. I mean, about tea time over there, but yeah. Logitech says 6 to 7K. What are your predictions for now or predictions for 2028? If my newest post at your general chat happens, also fly. You check my old post on BTC Ethereum chat now. Okay, man, it's nothing like being in demand, is there? It's like, oh yeah, nice live stream too, bit that you're trying to, deal with about 55 million different things at once. But hey, bring my chart up, mate, please. That one? This one? Or have you put something else in? Oh, you put something else in. Oh my God. Bro, what the hell? And this one. This one. There you go. 6,800. Is that what you're predicting for this cycle move? Shout out to Logitech, by the way, given the absolute alpha in our free Discord. If you haven't already joined it, I don't know what you're doing in your lives. Get your ass in that Discord. And by the way, if you want to get access to our premium Discord, which is all about our cool ass trade signals and many, many more, as well as our bot that can do it. Jesse, shout out to you, putting some stuff in there. Grab a channel membership. Head down to the bottom of the screen. There's a button that says join. Press it. It's going to cost you about $8 a month. Definitely well worth it, in my opinion. And again, lots of stuff being worked through, built on, and more importantly, going to kind of, come to you. As well as we have a full traded indicators and trade strategies free guide in there as well, which you get as being part of that premium Discord. So head on over there. Grab a channel membership. Also, it turns your, name green. Or you can just grab a subscription here on TikTok. Bullish. Alvarez Crypto. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. 6K will be ETH single transaction fee in 2030. Yeah, can you imagine? ETH gas fees are fine now, though. They're like super cheap, aren't they? Super cheap. So, okay. Fed base book, done. We've done that. XRP terminal, we've done. ADP employment, we've done. That's all. That's done. Okay, cool. Right. Where are we at right now? BTC 90,266, holding at the 2.5 Fibonacci. So we sort of want to see this break back above a little bit. And yeah, we'll take any questions, thoughts, opinions, and whatever else you guys have. Let me know. ETH to 9,300 within 4 months. No, someone was asking where we thought ETH could be where we thought ETH could be by 2030. I don't know. Finn Crypto says 91K on the way. Let's get it, baby. Logitech, what's your time scale for what you've put in our Discord? But I will definitely try and see about yeeting people out of the Discord. But how do you... Man, we need to... Is anyone good at Discord? How's Monad doing? Yeah, pretty well, actually. Monad's now at 4.4, so you've got a double so far on Monad, and feels very stable as well, which I think is good. So, yeah, Monad's doing some work, by the way. And, yeah, I'm excited for the ecosystem that's going to launch over there. I think we could see some pretty bullish momentum. Like, I don't know what the full TGE locks were on it, but some good volume. Look at that, $1 billion in volume, and actually still looks pretty solid, actually. So... yeah, nice launch, I think. And if anyone did get in that pre-sale, shout out to you guys. I know we talked about it. I know a number of you got in to that pre-sale on the back of being part of this channel and us talking about it prior to that closing. So, yeah. My country, Trinidad banned crypto this week. Really? No way. Oh, I did see something about... I didn't think it was that, though. Is that actually really true? Why? Are you sure? I mean, obviously you live there and I don't, but I thought we'd see something about that. Are you sure? It doesn't feel like you're sure. Fitting, don't stick your neck out too far on those price predictions. That's true. Did Trinidad and Tobago really ban Bitcoin? I think you're winding me up. I think you're winding me up. I think you are absolutely full of rubbish. You are indeed full of rubbish. There is no article at all telling me that they've banned it. So unless it kind of happened without me knowing about it, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Thanksgiving chat will be, how's your Bitcoin stuff going? Yeah, how's the magic money that you got involved in? You rich yet? Oh, no, actually, I'm friggin' I didn't sell any at the top. What? Andy says, do you have any info on the velodrome and aerodrome joining forces? No, but I do have info on the fact that the website got compromised. I don't know if you guys saw that. We talked about it last time, actually. So please, please, everybody, be mindful that they still haven't got that shit sorted. So just be careful when you access the old aerodrome and velodrome website. You should absolutely be going onto their official pages and going through the correct one. My view, by the way, everything's still intact. Their smart contracts are still all locked and loaded. I'm just sort of sat tight and see what happens. But yeah, please be mindful on that. They you can't access their current website in the old one. So go through the absolute proper ones, okay? Go through the absolute proper ones. So important to reference and important to kind of keep an eye on it. But they yeah, connect to aerodrome directly via Safe. Safe is a multi-sig and connecting directly with decentralized aerodrome domains so far. So yeah, think about that. Think about that, okay? Which is important. I sold all my Velo last night for Link. Ooh, what is Chainlink's price right now? I haven't seen Chainlink for a while. Man, 13. Man, I was looking at $11 and I didn't get it. Daniel, na, ihr alten Kryptonten, wie geht's? Es auch, ich freue meine immer wieder, habe ich zu sein. I don't know what that means, in fairness. I don't know what that means, but welcome in, Daniel. Willkommen zum, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. We appreciate it, though. We appreciate you, bro. What would I say? Alles gut. Ich hoffe, dir geht's auch gut. I don't know if that means sense. Hey, you all Cryptonauts, how are you? Beautiful. Would that answer work? Alles gut. Ich hoffe, dir geht es auch gut. Alt season around the corner, in my opinion. Wrote a little context to that tier last time I did write in anything. Best stream. Really enjoy it. Logitech, thanks, man. You should perhaps hire or get some freebie to disc to keep scammers kicked. Well, Jesse's in there. This is the point that we vet every single person that's going in there, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but I mean, I'm down for a couple of people to be mods in there to yeet people out, for sure. Big Al says, according to 2-Bit, the market's over and was on the 28th of October. Let's not forget, boys. Do you know the only thing I would say, Al, is right now, I am actually nearer to being correct than I think other people are. Let's just be dead clear about that. You might say that, but right now, I'm more accurate than many others. The market peaked on the market peaked on the 7th of October, bro. That technically means I was 3 weeks out. That technically means I was 3 weeks out. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, and I said all along I'm wrong. But at this moment in time, I was 3 weeks out from the all-time high. So we will see. We will see. People might be eating some humble pie. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. So Bitcoin needs to rally back above 125K. But as it stands right now, I mean, well, 28th actually, and I was what, the 7th? Man, I was, yeah, less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks. We'll see. We'll see. Mr. Non-Fungible, what's going on, bro? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Appreciate it. Mate, I honestly want to eat so much humble pie, it makes me ill. That's how much humble pie I want to eat. Anyway, Beef says, happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. Have a great day. Yeah, I still don't really understand the Thanksgiving thing, but yeah, shout out to you guys. Always good. 2-Bit should wear lederhosen on his Christmas stream, bro. So, yeah, Christmas schedule, by the way. I will be, we can do some pretty epic streams at Christmas, by the way. I'm not going to be here. I mean, I am tempted to do a Christmas Day stream, but I don't know how many people turn up, but I think it'd be cool to do it. Anyway, I will be streaming definitely the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then did we do a Christmas stream last year? Did we do a Christmas Eve live stream? I feel like we did. I feel like we did do a Christmas Eve live stream. The only difference is this year I'm actually at my Mrs. parents' house, and it tends to get a bit spicy on Christmas Eve, and I tend to not be in a good way by late. Maybe we do something cool on like Christmas Eve. It'll be like a, you know, be like a cool like, hey guys, let's like live stream it. Would you do some guest streams later on when you bring up some people to discuss different scenarios? Yeah, look, Logitech, I've always said, right? I've always said, and I used to have loads of people up on the stream. We used to do AMAs. I am 100% up for people coming on. I just need to know that, I know this sounds insane, but it just needs to be important that we do it. Now, equally, I'm also in a world of, I really want to start to get the Discord moving a little bit. Like, I'd love to do kind of like a stream in the Discord. Now, this is a genuine thing as well, by the way. I talked to you guys about this before, but right now I'm tracking any kind of potential income. I'm not saying it's like the most amount in the world, but I'm sort of tracking channel membership income, view income. That's why, like, I'm really working hard at like trying to grow TikTok, trying to grow X, trying to grow YouTube, because I do 100% want to do this full time. Like, I want to do it full time. And you know, maybe the new year, I think I said to you guys, like, my boss was like, don't do anything stupid in the new year. Like, we want you part of the company. I think I was talking to Vern about this. We want you, you know, with us, like, blah, 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 blah. But man, I would love to then do like a morning stream. Anyway, but yeah, 2-bit Christmas. Yeah, no. I won't be like, I think next week I've got, Tuesday the 2nd, I've got my Christmas party at work, but yeah. Daniel says, today's a good day. My silver is 10x. Nice, bro. But yeah, the short answer is yes. It's a little bit more complicated, but yeah, the short answer is yes. Stan Everett, do you trade as well? Yes. No, I wouldn't say big. But yeah, again, jump in the Discord. You can see some of the charts we have in there and some of the setups we do. Yeah, 100% homes, which is why, if you notice, with a lot of the content, I'm trying to do a bit more macro-y, economic-y stuff, which is like not, I mean, I've tried to pivot away from like, oh, let's talk about this news headline, which I just think adds zero value to it. And then obviously, if I was to go for this, I know this sounds insane, right? I know this sounds insane, but if I was to go full time and come away from my 9 to 5 and just say, right, I'm going to do crypto, I would definitely start a second channel. Like, I don't know what it would be, but start like some sort of second channel, like a behind the scenes channel, or what, I don't know. You'd start something else, wouldn't you? But I think moving away a little bit from, oh, let's talk about this. Like, why is this going to be good news? Which I just think are a bit bullshit. And since I've done that, actually view, as in how long people watch my videos is going up right now. Like, some of them are at like 4.5 minutes, which is great. Like 55% view ratio, a POV 2-bit channel. Yeah, it'd be cool as Cucumbers to do that for sure. But yeah, you're right. That is always the problem, in fairness. Always the problem. Exploring Leeds channel. Hey guys, welcome in. It's 2-bit. Just going around like annoying the police or something. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. We've got a lot of way to go now. If we can get BTC to pump back above to like $190,000, then yeah, great news. I mean, we'll all just full send it, but got to get to that point first. We got to get to that point first. Right. I don't know who this is, but let me reply to them. Where is that? Oh my God, where is it? Messages, message requests, friends. Did I just accept that message or not? All friends online. Oh, bro, what did I just do? What did I just do? I think I didn't accept that message. So whoever it was, oh, there it is. There it is. I think it's good. You're live. Most of my other Discord servers, they record shit move happened already and then they release it really retarded. So the live thing is awesome. Live trading scalp session is an A++. So we've done some crazy stuff. Does everyone remember Friday meme coin night where we were trading meme coins on Solana? That was pretty out there. Yeah. So Holmes, yeah, basically, yeah. I think Alvin's got some pretty cool stuff happening. So I think Vern and I are going to be, Vern and I are going to be flying out there in the new year, I think, which is going to be cool. And we'll do a live stream from Alvin's shop. Yeah, I think everything's coming together, man, which is going to be pretty exciting. He's also going to connect up we were talking about this the other day. So he's going to set up a Dogecoin miner and just run it for his shop for me, basically, which would be super cool as well. So we can kind of have a look at it. But yeah, things are all happening. And then I think the plan is to fly out. It's like, apparently it's super cold in Canada right now. And I'm not good at cold. But yeah, definitely it's on the list to fly out next year and do something. Which again is another reason like why it'd be cool if I just did it. Yeah, so right now it's like 2 degrees in Canada. Like, screw that. No thanks. Although I could definitely rock the green hoodie, but like, yo, it's 2-bit. I look like Kermit the Frog when I do that. Jesus, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Uptrend and they're all back. Well, that I mean, I don't know if are you aiming at me, W? Are you like, oh, here he is, look, talking about crypto? Bruh, trust me. There ain't anyone that works harder than me in this space. 3 degrees in Cornwall. Is it really? Shit. No thanks. Salon and meme night didn't go to. Yeah. Well, do you know, remember Tomato Pete? We got Melania at like $2. That was the only good thing we ever got out of that entire time of doing trading meme coins on a Friday night. We got into Melania at like $2. Which is crazy. But yeah, Friday night meme coin night was hilarious. And then we did, don't forget, we did like trade as well, where we were doing like long and shorts. That was kind of fun, but yeah. -2 and left work last night, bro. Yeah, it was cool this morning. Albeit, right, I'm not shilling anything. I'm not like a BMW do not sponsor this stream, by the way, but if they ever wanted to, they could hook me up. But yeah, this morning my car was frozen, and I don't know if you got a BMW, by the way, there's a little button at the bottom. Press that, just defrost the whole car. You're like, oh, bro, this is the best thing in the world. Scalping meme coins is wild. Scalp some BTC all salt. Yeah, that's true. I mean, scalping meme coins are pretty interesting. It was -5 here. Jesus, that is wild. Yeah, Melania was a wild night. Yeah, Melania was insane, bro. Melania was a wild, crazy stream for sure. For sure. Right. It's kind of frustrating me a little bit, though, that we're getting people in our Discord that shouldn't be in the Discord when I literally can see everybody's name. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how we can kind of stop them, like, because I just don't think they're in there. I generally don't think they're in this stream. They must be like, man, they must like delete their names. I don't know. Who knows? Who freaking knows? That's all I'll say. But we'll try and keep an eye on it and make sure that anyone that needs getting yeeted gets yeeted. Tomato pizza, yeah. 2 bit the heated seats and steering wheel was amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bots or scammers, mate? Both. I mean, like, if you join the Discord, then they instantly message you saying, hey, I'm 2-bit crypto, like, which is obviously not me. But they can't be in the Discord unless they've got like a totally different account. I mean, I can change it for sure, but it means they're all got like random different names, but I'll have a look and see what we can do. My advice though is, as always, do not ever, even if I message you and I'm like, bro, like I'm really short this month, can I have some cap? No, 2-bit. No, you can't have anything. That's the best way to do it. Swift pumping again. Is it really? Nice. Yeah, 6.5%. Nice. Check general. This is what I got greeted by. Wow. Yeah. So how do I, because they're not in my Discord channel. So is it like a way of, man, how do I like stop that coming up then? Anyone know? I need to have a look, really. I need to have a look. You go bump it up. They got other accounts. Yeah, it must be. Must be. I can't see anybody different in the members list. I usually just ignore, delete, and report. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing I can't. Maybe there's some settings that I can change it to, like, they have to have. Although their accounts must be, like, I guess, longer. Join Discord. Or is it, like, worth yeeting people out that have joined Discord in, like, the past hour? Past 24 hours, past 7 days. I mean, there's a couple joined in the last 7 days. See, like, there's no one that... There's only 4 people that have actually got a Discord account less than 7 days old that's in the entire server. We'll see. Yeah, but I mean, I assume like people like Austin Hilton that's joined it is like, but that's why if you go, they've got an unverified badge next to their name because we don't know if they're legit or not. I think I actually booted them out, but anyway, on Discord it's quite impossible to stop fully. Yeah, I can imagine it is. Like I said, my view is just do not respond to anybody. Do not respond to. Do not respond to them. It's not me. There we go. Hey, brother, can you give your opinion on BBUSDT? I am long. BBUSDT. The hell is that? I don't even know what that is. What? BBUST, this. You're long on this. What even is it? Am I like having some sort of aneurysm right now? Bounce bit. What the hell is bounce bit? Man, I have no idea what this is. Like, not a clue what this is. But you're long on this. What? I mean, I don't even know where to start on this. Where would I start on this? Probably not there. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I guess where are you long from? That's the question, isn't it? So downward sloping trend line, lower lows. You know, look at this. Definitely a downward line right now. I guess you're probably on a smaller time frame. I don't know if I'd be. What is this? Why is it wicked up? I don't know if I'd be long on this. Depends where you're long from, though. If you're long from here, then fine. I mean, it has a slight tick up on the EMAs. You can see the yellow line crossing the red line, which is the 50 crossing the, excuse me, yeah, the 50 crossing the 100. So maybe, but this spike feels super weird. I don't know anything about it, though, in my opinion. Purely, yeah, I probably will, Vern, yeah. Purely from a technical standpoint, it's a bit like, well, I mean, it's a breakout, but 0.07. I mean, the only thing I would say to be mindful of, not financial advice, by the way, but this looks like this looks like it is trending this way and probably will come back down. 0.79 would be the 20-day exponential moving average on the 30-minute. But yeah, I mean, that looks a little bit like it's sort of doing that. 0.81. I would say if it gets rejected at 8111 and dips below, then I think you come back and retest the 20-day exponential moving average at 0.796. Not financial advice, by the way. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. He's up at least. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is true. All right, we can take up a 6. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's fine, Vern. And I will probably end YouTube and then just come over to TikTok, I think. Because it was like super like difficult last week to try and do both things at once. But yeah. Cryptomaniac, what's going on, bro? Welcome in, pal. Welcome in. Okay, so BTC holding right now 90,200. Hopefully we get a close. We need 253. That's kind of what we're looking at. 90,253. And I think that would give us a bit more of a, a bit more of an optimistic view in the market. I might actually come off, Vern, because it feels like the view account's been scubbed tonight. Feels I don't know, like there's only 25 people in the TikTok live, right? So I might come off it and come back on. Maybe we do that and see kind of what happens. Give me 5 minutes. Go make myself another cup of tea and then we can do it. We can do it. Good. YouTube push to the back burner. Not really. I mean, I'm all for it, by the way. It was just a bit clunky last week. And obviously to get Vern on YouTube is a bit more difficult. And I don't know, Vern, I don't know if you could do YouTube and TikTok. I just get a bit clunky on it. So let's do that. I'm going to probably finish up the live stream here in about 5 minutes. And then let's pick up the live on TikTok in 10. Let's do that. Like 10 minutes fairground, like 15:15. Let's do that. Vern, you good for that? 15:15. That gives me time in let's finish up here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'll go and make a brew. And then we'll get live at 15:15. That'll feel like a pretty good idea. Okay. So Bitcoin back above 90,000. Pretty good news. We'll see how this continues to play out. Fingers crossed we'll see a bit more optimism in the markets. Altcoins are holding up reasonably well. Overall market cap at 3.06 trillion is kind of 5:15. Yeah. Literally in like 15 minutes. Daniel, you can get in if you've got a web browser. I'll post it in the Discord, so make sure you're in the Discord, but you can access us on a web browser. You don't actually have to have a TikTok account. As long as you've got a laptop, which I'm assuming you're on now, or the access to a browser, then it's not Telly's, bro. Then you'd be able to get us there. So again, if you are interested. So yeah, 22.50, literally in 18 minutes time, we'll be back live. Thoughts on Moon AI, Pablo Co project? He is the dev. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say? In fact, I'm not going to use... Oh, it's actually up today, in fairness. I'll let chat decide. Let's let chat decide. What does chat think? Crypto President, what's going on? Nice to meet you all. What's going on, bro? Everyone on TikTok's like, what is going on? Like, nothing's been said. I hope in a roundabout that way that gives you an answer. All right. BITUNIX says support by liking the live, y'all. Absolutely. We're back up to like 30 odd people right now, but we are going to end the stream and then we're going to be back in about 15 minutes. All right. You're going to let me go and get a cup of tea, get Yorkshire tea, none of this Tetley nonsense, and then we'll be back. 15 minutes. All right. 15 minutes. Whoa, lots of bots posting here. Nope, these are actually what happens in a proper live stream with proper people that talk about it. So yeah, good news. Good news. India Tea, shut up, Fairground. Oh dear, get out of here. Okay, right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to join us live on TikTok in 10 minutes, literally, I'm going to go downstairs, turn the kettle on, boil the kettle. I'm going to put tea bag in first. Hot water in second, get it to nice temperature, then I'm going to add the milk in. I'm not some sort of absolute lunatic that puts milk in hot water and then dunks a tea bag in. No! No! So yeah, it's working, man. Right, as always, thank you so much. Appreciate all the bots showing up tonight as well. Great to have you all here. I love it so much. And yeah, buy or hold for XRP. Right now, I'm holding it, and we'll see where that goes on. But don't forget, tune in 4 p.m. Eastern every single day. That's 9 p.m. UK time. I'm going to see you guys on TikTok. I'll post the link in the Discord. Come and join me and CryptoVern for all things. Man, there's like 45 people in the Discord, in the TikTok right now. Maybe I should just stay in TikTok. Oh my God. Get out of here, massive choppers. Right. Back tomorrow. Don't miss it. As always, appreciate you. Bitcoin holding up. Fingers crossed. We're 100K tomorrow. Right. See you in a bit.